Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Range Rover LSE. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I'm sure we're going to have some sort of project coming up very soon that is going to interest you. Guys, we are in the middle of prepping all of the panels for the car. You know that we had the two passenger side doors already done by the other paint shop. They was all prepped, and when we dropped the car down and had all this paintwork done on the outside of it, sorry, I will pick up on that. Last time I said we had it based up. Guys, sorry, it's not based up. We actually got it all painted. This is all done now. That's not got to have any more lacquer on it. That's ready to go. So they was done. These doors wasn't. So these bottom edges where the sealer was, it was quite rough. So Chris has actually gone along and cleaned all of that up so that the new sealer can go on there. And then the painter will be flattening these off and painting all the inside of these doors, getting them to the same stage as the other door. The quarter panels, where they fit on the car, I am going to show it because it'll make sense then. You can see there's two little holes in the wheel arch there, and that quarter panel bolts on through the back there and also through all of these holes up here at the top. So the brackets, when we undone them, actually fell off. So you can see Chris has actually made new brackets up there and they've been fixed on there, so they are perfect now. We're going to have no issues when it comes to putting the new ones on. We can get underneath, mark them up and put two new bolts in them. The front wing, again, had a few little scabs on it along the edge here. That's aluminium as well, so fortunately no rust. That's all now been cleaned off. The painter can crack on and do his thing with that. The other door we got over here, just getting ready to load it into the truck actually, because we're going to have to drop these off. We don't want too many bits scattered everywhere. All of the sealer had to come off of that one all the way around, so that's going to have to be resealed and again painted. The door frames, I might get this a little bit wrong, so Chris, I may have to stop and Chris tell me again. So the original one's outside, isn't it, one of them?
No, that is the original.
The original one there, and you can see it's got two.
This.
That one. This, yeah, but that's an original as well, is it?
Yeah.
So it's got two mounting points on it, one there and one there. And as you can see on this other frame, it's got one mounting point there and one there that's actually broken off and rotted right through. Now this does go just inside the door, but the window has to run up and down in there. So Chris said welding that up and trying to get it right, it could be an issue for the window. So he's actually got a Disco 3 frame, no, Defender,
300.
a 300 TDI frame, and he's actually cut it up, and as you can see there's a new one with the two bars on it, and he's mitered the corners, and he's going to be cutting this one and sticking a new section in there. The difficulty we had is this window is a lot larger on the LSE, so a normal frame won't fit. You can see Chris has just laid that on the top there, and you can see he's going to stick a little weld in the corner there, and that will be fine. And also that side as well, because the mounting point has all rotted out. Also, this window actually comes with the seal that goes along the bottom. And when we took it apart, the seal had actually collapsed and broken up. So these ones are out of 300 TDI. The drop glass, Chris has actually cut these down and made them so that they actually fit. He's made two of those brackets up, and he's got to weld two of these little brackets back on. So basically that's a shorter version of it. This is for a normal Discovery with the shorter window. So you can see it's not quite big enough. So these brackets here, I've got a couple of spot welds on the back of them. We've got to drill those out and actually weld them to this new one so that we've got two nice new mounts for those back windows. So a lot of work to do. We're going to crack on and get that done and get the rest of these bits dropped off down at the paint shop. So you would have seen on that little bit of time lapse there, Chris cracked on and made a bit of a jig up on this stand. Cut the broken one off, replaced it. He's just tacked it on for now. This will all be getting cleaned up and smoothed off, and it will look really, really nice. And also that one there that was rotten at the bottom, he's replaced that and tacked that up as well. So we're going to crack on, get them completely welded up, right? Oh, the window bottom. We're going to be doing that. Chris is going to make one of those up. So if you remember, this is the one that you made up, isn't it? Yeah. That's got to have a little bit. No, it hasn't. It's already the right end. It's got to weld those little brackets. It's got to weld those little brackets on so that that bolts in there really nicely. Really getting there with it now. You've cleaned all that up as well, Chris, haven't you? It had all glass in it. So yeah, really moving on with it. And these are vital. You don't even see this, but who would want to put that back inside one of those beautiful doors? It's just going to cause problems in the future, and it's only going to get worse. Let's crack on and get this all welded up. So check that out. Completely looks original. Doesn't look like it's never been joined or anything like that. I'm trying to get as close as I can. Look how lovely that's come out. And then again, that bracket Chris has made up with the original brackets back on the bottom. Nice new nut on there and a nice new bolt in this end. But that, I think you would agree, is now perfect. We can get that painted, and actually once the door's all painted, slot that back in. It's going to match everything else, and that is what we want. We want it all to look lovely and perfect all the way around. Trouble is, now we've got to move on and do the next one. Let's do it. And that's the next one all done and looks just as good. You would have seen Chris put a bit of grease on this to actually get it on there. It was quite tight to get it on. Once this is all painted, we will be Sikaflexing that to the glass, because that's originally how it is held on there. This is the better frame out of the two, but there was obviously bits of rust coming up. So Chris went round with that Genelite there and put it in basically in all of the runners where there was any rust, and just isolated it so that it stops it spreading and obviously nips it in the bud. But we're going to move on now and actually fit these in the doors, right? Make sure that they're all perfect, and we got the doors on the car, so we'll get them fitted now.
We'll do the front ones first.
Oh yes, we have, haven't we? Yeah, we got to do the front ones. Wasn't so bad as this, was they? No. These are the ones that really suffered, especially there. And don't forget, guys, if you haven't seen the previous videos on this, go back to part 1 when we first pulled it out. This car had actually been sat out in Chris's yard for 8 to 9 years, and it was down quite low. This was up against the fence. I don't know if it caused any of it, but it's very, very old anyway, and it all needed doing. So we're going to crack on and get these fitted. So we've just popped those in there, guys, really to do a thumbnail on them. And that was a nice bit of engineering there from Chris. He made that jig up, placed that out, and had to piece it all back together. And as you can see, the gap is perfect. It's all gone back exactly where it should be. It's really nice knowing it's got that nice new seal in there. That's all going to be Sikaflexed in once it's done. So the quarter panels, the doors the other side, they're all around the paint shop, and I'm sure that they're going to be back soon. So a lot of you are probably wondering, why are we leaving it till now to do these door tops? Why didn't you have it done when you had the A post, B, C post done, etc.? And guys, the only answer to that is they're so hard to store. You can imagine they actually stand as high as the door because the bottoms go all the way down. And if we'd have got those painted, we'd have had them stored in a container and they may have got marked or damaged, and then we'd have been in the same boat where we need to actually get them done again. So although progress does look like it's slow, there's so many intricate parts and so much to actually do. So we're now going to whip these down the paint shop, all 4 of them, have them painted, and as soon as they come back, we can actually completely rebuild these doors. We can put everything back in them, put all the glass in them, and start making a dent on all of the bits in the container. It already looks bigger with all these door frames removed out of the container, and it has been quite a lot of work for Chris there, making that rear frame and getting the others, both rear frames, and getting the others looking in a nice condition. So far, so good. Like I said a couple of times throughout that video, it doesn't look like there's a huge amount of progress, but believe me, there really is. We're laying the foundations here with all these little bits to actually crack on, and it all of a sudden, it'll be done, you know, that side will be completely fitted up. There is a couple of little new parts we got to order up. I think one of the rear window mechanisms is completely toast, so we're gonna have to order one of them, get that in. But yeah, really moving along with it. As usual, if you do enjoy it, please drop us a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.